react. He was one step ahead of him every single moment, in every single moment of that battle right there.
Man, it must feel awful to just get victimized by Mega and Dubs.
I would be so upset to go against one of these guys. They're too quick. Literally too quick.
Just very, and we talk about like what makes some of these players good. In some circumstances, they do everything right. Sometimes they're just very good and they're fast. Like that would be what I say kind of Mega, Dubs, Benji Fishy, Mr. Savage. Well, they all have like certain types of traits about them and certain things they do well. Yes, they're all incredibly fast-paced players with everything they do. And in and of themselves, that's almost their defining trait. The quickness at which they do everything. Beating somebody in Fortnite to the punch by a quarter of a second is enough for a shot. If you're doing that every single time, you're getting their wall every single time because you're that much faster, then you're going to be able to snowball those advantages, compound them into something better. That's why the best of the best are so consistent.
As we focus in on Mega here, let's see what he's going to do. We have praised him enough on how quick he is. He's at 14 eliminations. If you don't believe us by now, you're crazy. You don't get that high, that aggressive in finals. Guys, mind you, this is everything on the line for New York City, right? Potentially. And he just pushes through. Just goes all the way through, no hesitation. That's one. Someone else does join the battle here. Finds him as well. Quick little flick right there.
That was just gross.
16 elims.
He hit the flint knock headshot. I was honestly like, I half thought he was going to push in for the pickaxe. The flint knock will do the 180 if you get that full headshot there, but instead sticks with the combat and then picks up the nice little double. But now it needs to be careful of the 6. Good job getting up 2 blocks, and then luckily, as he pops the shadow, the shots miss towards the door. So, you know, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Mega catching it right there is going to put down the campfire as well as the 2 minis. If you blink, you might have missed it, but he's now in the center of his zone, boxed up, campfire one side, launch pad in the zone next to him, and now reloading all of his weapons, ready for the next rush.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the flint and pick up a grenade launcher. Interesting to see how that's going to play out here in this end game, because it's not typical you see someone have a grenade launcher towards these congested zones. But this is the perfect time to use all these shadow bombs, guys. Just keep him in the game and rotating. He is on someone's heels right here. He was really trying to get that elim right there, chasing him all the way up.
And one thing that's super important to note there, notice how he didn't jump or double jump or wasn't sprinting. He was literally walking directly behind the player. Any of those other movement options would have given away, and the player would have known, would have had an opportunity to box him in, potentially trap him out. That's what we talk about when we say do all of the little things right. You might not think about it. You might think, oh, I get the double jump, I better use it. No, players adapt. They've gotten used to it. They know to look for the smoke trails, to just throw bullets towards it and to hope to get it. But Mega going one step farther, and he still has 2 more, enabling him so much. And here go the grenades. Will we see Mr. Savage 2.0, who is the best billiard player in NA? He fires all of them down low, and no ticks coming through yet.
But the pressure of the explodes, the sounds, it's as much of a mind game as it is the whole site just to kind of connect here. So let's see what Mega's going to do. He's looking for the elims down low. He doesn't care about who's up above. He's trying to inch his way down here. Just taking a little bit more control of this layer. He doesn't have any movement, any freedom space here. He's going to find Dream TV.
Wait. That was a grenade tag. It had to have been. He hasn't shot anybody else in the last minute. So he had to have hit somebody with a grenade, gets flint knocked out into the zone there. But can he cover himself? 7 HP. Oh! Mega drops down. Winteroo, you can go back. It's the time of summer, and it's the time of phase Mega. What a sick edit and sick play. Now up to 107 effective HP. Papa Eggy on the high ground. Hoffner gets personally victimized by Mega, like basically the rest of the entire lobby, up to 19 elims. But now on the low ground, Shadow Bomb comes out from Eggy. Hot feet for Mega, hot feet for Eggy, but he's in the shadow, and Mega finds him. He finds him because he jumped, monster.
I don't know how he just did that, but he managed to really pull through and clutch up at the end. That was as close as we've ever seen it, and that was a 20 elimination game there.
30 points. 30 points for Mega. We saw him at 7 HP. Again, I cannot stress it enough. If you're watching and you want to get better at Fortnite,
imagine dropping a 20 bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine dropping a 20 bomb in any game. Like, I think I've had a 20 bomb once, maybe, in a pub. I think, and I felt really, really, really happy. He's doing it in the finals against the best of the world. If you want to go watch these games, watch their perspectives, you can load it up in the client yourself. You can go to the leaderboard, set the region. Right now, we're on NA East. Then you can click the compete tab at the top, load up week 9, and check out all of the individual greatness. Whether you want to be watching Tfue or Dubs or Mega or any of the other solo players who have already qualified, I promise you, they will all put on a show as we get into the final half hour of the queues. And already Chap, Tilpil, Snood, all up over on this side. Clicks in the match as well. Right as I said that, Tilpil gets taken out by, honestly, the Demon Hunter right now. That's what Clicks feels like. He's just running around cleaning up everyone.
Dude, Clicks is fearless right now. He's he has nothing to lose at this point. This is all good practice for the Fortnite World Cup. This Chap is now putting pressure on players that are gliding across, and what a death valley here. You do not want to have to cross this. You think, oh, I have a launch pad, I'm okay. No way, not when players have this much elevation kind of set up. This poor guy's probably going to use redeploy. He uses the flint knock actually trying to save himself there. He's still in the game.
Was able to catch himself right there at the bottom. You see Kearney also here, Chap trying to get an angle on the rest of the lobby. Again, the Liquid Old Guard desperately trying to qualify and join Vivid on that stage in New York City. We have EG's J-Truth also in the lobby. Nobu Beef, it does get picked up.
Yeah, it's going straight across another valley towards the tilted, or neo-tilted mountain. You guys are very familiar with this mountain. It's been in the game for a while here. So to have to cross back, another steep elevation coming from the shifty side.
Yeah, the old that old clock tower mountain gives a really, really good kind of vantage point over the rest of Tilted. But it's really awkward to kind of end up fighting around and rotating over because it's such a steep valley into then this kind of like gradual hill that drops off right after. So we'll see some interesting rotations coming out. But now on board here with Joy with that tactical assault rifle, trying to throw some shots over. You do see Storm Surge over on your right hand side. Only one more player has to fall before that turns off, and the rotation is coming through. So Joy is going to be looking for those gatekeeping opportunities. You see him checking the angles as Shiga picks up Senseful. Temp gets picked up by Joy. He's going to be like, all right, got my Elim, I'm out. Waiting for the opportunity to then rotate over and away. The question is, how long can he extend out the Shadow Bomb? Not long enough. Going to opt to use the second one. Does get the tick over in the storm as well onto Shiga. So good job from him.
Look at this.
And now all the way far side of the zone.
Manages to really just hop his way up and over all the builds. Perfect usage of the Shadow Bombs here. He hasn't even reloaded the tactics. He's already on the offensive push here. Another player did rotate by. He's kind of getting his eyes set on who's going to be his next victim. Went from 1 eliminations to 3. Will this be the 4th? And it is going to be the 4th. Let's have fun, okay? We saw him a bunch yesterday, ending in the top 10. I think he finished about 6.
But doesn't look like he's having as much fun okay today as J-Truth picks up another Elim. Grandma goes down outside of the top 15. Sizz Lucky also down, another player who qualified for duos looking for a solo. Hasn't managed to get a qualification spot. 2 9th place finishes for him. Will this week be his week? You see Joy shots up towards the top ground, and he gets Prestovit with the drop down in the alley-oop afterward.
Yep, and here it is. Joy has now found himself 2 layers up and over these opponents here. He has to be very careful. He's looking to see if he can just disconnect this entire build, maybe get some fall damage.
Needs to look up though. There was a rift that went off. This is not completely uncontested, and boom, there it is. He realizes there's the 3 players in the sky, wants to hold this high ground, so he's going to push over towards this other player, and he gets it away from him, except there's the high ground ripped away from him, and Joy immediately looks up and places the trap down.
Yeah, he did manage to pull that off. What is going on here? Click's still in the game. Baldy's still in the game as well. Click's pops the big old rift. He's getting this nice rotation. He sees the mountain up ahead. This is going to work out perfect for him as Joy is probably running low on mats. A lot of builds coming out of him, except going up. And Clicks just lands on the ramp, doesn't even care. No respect for Joy at all. Puts the double ramp off right there.
just absolutely took it away from him. Clicks in the top right, Joy in the bottom right. That's the fight that's happening in the high ground. You have two separate 1v1s. Clicks versus Joy, except first phase attacks and attacks. Runs him over. Absolutely brilliantly done from him there. After taking out J-Truth, gets that there. So he has uncontested low, but with no mats to his name. So Clicks is just going to rain down on the lobby. Only 2 mats left on Joy and a singular shadow bomb that is there as well. Everything is pointing to Clicks if he can get his way down. Attacks, goes forward onto Joy, and Joy finds it. He gets the siphon, but he's down on the HP lead as Clicks has the high ground, but is starting to run low on mats. Only has 12 left, but that's all it takes. The combat shotgun from nearly 6 tiles up. The hard aim down sights for Clicks. 3 elims, victory royale, locks it up with the 13 points. There's a reason he's qualified in duos, solos, and he's in first place. Well, right now, well done, Clicks, but the action doesn't stop. Again, 49 players left, nearly half of the lobby in this match, and we're on board here with Raised by King Steens. 25 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely was a crazy game right there for Clicks, but jumping into the next game, 25 minutes left on the queue. This is going to be a close one here for Steens, as he is running out of time on the clock for the final opportunity for anyone, guys, to make it through the Fortnite World Cup final stage. This is it. It's the last moment. So if another 50-man, highly congested lobby. Storm 6 is approaching.
And we're going through Tilted. We talk about all of the natural structures and stuff that is already there. It's so incredibly difficult to move back through them. You can see Steens right now trying to pre-break a bunch of those, but there's a player right next to it. Gets the shot first for the 73, and then forces the player to disengage. Dynamite coming over towards this whole structure. Will Steens push forward for it? First edit, second edit. Players right there, phasing through the floor, and opts to disengage. No shot coming out yet. Oh, he found him. He owns that ramp.
Oh,
that should be free. Yeah.
Oh my, another 124. Guys, the combat has such a tight crosshair. These shots are just barely connecting at full range right there. That's insane. Such a tough shot to make in a close quarter like that. Beautiful flicks right here. Steens is in it to win it right now, and he is now replenished to max materials. Taking a look around the map now. You see you have class in this game. Nuke's boss. Again, we see more boombo action here. Will we see some elims being picked up? Not as much as we saw before. That little change to the boombos made a big difference.
Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of scoffed at it at first, like, oh, like 0.25 seconds. That's not a big difference. When you look at small numbers like that in particular, I advise people to think in terms of percentages, right? So yeah, you think, oh, a quarter of a second, that's not that long of a time. But one, a quarter of a second is about the natural reaction speed for a human, and 2, that's a 25% increase. So all those like sick full draw flicks you saw before, you don't have the time to do that anymore. Because yes, the extra half second, you're like, oh, what is that? But if it's the reaction time for your average human being, I promise you, the competitive Fortnite player has a much faster reaction time than that. So all of a sudden, they hear any amount of that draw, or you don't get as quick of a release, it's not going to be as effective. It's not to say it's not strong, but it's definitely slightly more significant than people thought at first.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Percentages are huge, and we talked about reaction speeds. Nuke's boss has picked up a 3-piece on his rotation, and has managed to find the tree! So close, hits the tree as Nut walks right past him. He did do the last bit of damage, so rewarded.
Any cheat, we're gonna have to look at that maybe for teaming, because Nut in the tree, I mean, similar names going through the tree, holding up there, just make sure. But no, brilliantly done from Nut. Super unfortunate there that the tree happened to be there, but you know, sometimes luck's on your side and sometimes it's not, as we're on board here with Clarity G. Trying to find an angle, still has his baller as well as 2 shadow bombs, so a lot of utility coming out, has the heavy sniper as well, and you can see him just trying to find a spot to hang out with the baller so he won't get shot down. This is one thing about these baller rotations. The players try and hang out off the underside of builds so you won't take additional ammo. You still see about 5 of them trying to make their way up the side. Kazooie gets Boogie Bomb, but is going to be okay. And this rotation is nuts and stacked. Everyone trying to go up and over this hill.
Segundito. está.
That do not have mobility, and it's crazy because not one friendly
Qué
launch.
buena de Clarity.
For recycled utility, it's like, who's going to be the one to do it? Hey. Back through it. TJ on the high ground. Two players ripped up into the rift. Casker in vain on the low.
Hola.
One shot here, and it can be taken out, but with all of these guys, avoid all this problematic.
Largely by doing this, you can see hanging out on the underside of the high ground builds. He's not going to edit himself and look back down, but knock that ball away. He wants to find Elam's clarity, looks skyward, hits the heavy sight, but no knocking down there. Kazui is still in this match. It did just pick up Chief. Vayne also still in the match on the low ground. Kazui going to drop ops to catch himself and then swap right to the combat shotgun. Clarity picking up Kazui there as he continues to work downward. We're into the top 10 now.
Love it. He is looking to now
Está
take
jugando
down this
bastante bien
build here. It's
Clarity.
not held up on much. And interesting, he had
Tiene
shadow
que contar
bombs,
que no
but
se
he
quede
waterfalled
sin,
all the way down.
Coming down now.
Someone is coming down. It's his high ground to keep
material.
if he can just hold it here.
There's no one there, though. It's fine. Top 5 and high ground now for Clarity all of a sudden. Still has 20 builds and the 2 shadow bombs.
Oh, man, it's going back up and over from top. Tries to land on him. Clarity gets shot. Is he going to be able to continue to keep it? Yes, he does. He keeps his high ground and trades a monstrous shot in return.
Qué buena de Clarity.
Once again, and he's replenished on health.
Great double trap there from Clarity onto Futatu right as he pushed in the box. Casker and TJ going at it in the bottom right-hand corner. Casker going to be the beneficiary of that one. And now he's looking. He's not staying with the zone. Uses the RPG to drop down Clarity. Clarity has zone position, gets the first shot. And Casker finds it! He got the one shot. Casker, you lord! 5 elims, victory royale. 15 points there, pushing him up to 46.
Bueno, parece que estaba aquí en Clarity, pero...
My Lord Casker. Courage. That was pretty sick.
It does not get much closer than that. Right down to the final moment. Hits the shot he needs to and wins the game. Folks, I'm back here on the stage with my good friend Dr. Lupo as we've been watching the NA action unfold. Now, Ben, we've also got a ticket to punch, but we'll get to that in a second. First, catch her to speed of what you've been looking out for.
NAE so far putting on an excellent show, and actually
coming up there.
One of the craziest things we've seen thus far up until right now is the standings have been kind of it's a new set of faces.
Yep.
Okay.
It is now in that top 10. The question is,
Of everything we've seen, we just saw multiple games so far today. Only 7. He still has 3 left.
5 millones, creo.
66 points, and he's already qualified.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind too. Players like Clarity, Mega, even though all the way down bottom, Colorful. Those players, if they end up in the top 6 for NA East, all you have to do is just adjust the list of who's going to qualify. So if you freeze it right here, this is one of the craziest things as we head into the final week of solos. Freeze it right here. Every single player on this board would end up qualifying because you have 1st, 4th, and 5th pushes multiple positions down. It's insane. And that's consistency because then you have Clicks, Clarity, Mega, Colorful all already in the top 10 right now as it stands right now. But like I said, still have games left to play.
Tough thing is Aspect already at 10 games played. Won't be able to up that score anymore. We'll see if they can potentially hold on to their position. We know that that's a look at NA East. I believe we also have an update for Brazil.
The final standings for Brazil.
The final standings for Brazil.
There it is.
Node qualifies. Techno Viking in that 2nd spot. So close, but not enough in the end. You see the 9Z boys on there as well. Either way, Clip Node, the one qualifier from Brazil, which means we've got a ticket to punch. We've got a ticket to punch.
Jack,
in the World Cup Finals. Ben, I know
it's going to work. It has to work. At some point, it's going to work.
Mira cómo
I've seen everybody else do it. It's just a little corner tap. I think that I've been hitting the middle. I'm going to try the corner, okay? Ready?
All right, go ahead.
Man.
10. Let's throw it back to our casters. To the break.
Hey Fortnite fam, BallTW here to get in the nitty gritty of competitive Fortnite. The final circles in competitive Fortnite are packed tightly with both action and players, all fighting to get the victory royale. Let's introduce one of the most common techniques used to outlast your opponents in those congested final zones. What is tunneling? Also known as snaking or pathing, this is when you build a protected tunnel while running away from the storm and into the next safe zone. But this becomes very, very important as there can be opposing players on all sides of you. Here's an example of the most basic tunnel, the straight tunnel. From your base, you simply build straight towards your destination straight ahead of you with a floor piece below your feet and above your head. This is the most basic and also dangerous version of the tunnel since you're not covering horizontally. You're exposed from your sides. However, you save materials by doing this. The materials you spend covering your sides quickly add up. Then, if you need to go diagonally to get where you need to go, you'll often see players do the diagonal tunnel. At its most basic, it's very similar. You're just changing directions as you go. Once left, once right. This is very useful since sometimes you'll encounter enemies that you want to get away from on the road to the victory royale, or the next safe zone is in a diagonal direction. So just change directions and move, but make sure to stay safe from the storm. Now we talked about how you're exposed from your sides. In both versions, you can add walls to either side, or both left and right, or even in front as well. This gets really hard really fast, and this is why it's so impressive that not only are these high-level players tunneling so fast and without error, but at the same time going for crazy plays on unsuspecting opponents to rack up elimination points as well as placement points. It's a lot to take in, and oftentimes they do things so fast that you can't even keep up. Watching players like Cease, Bizzle, Mongrel, Benji Fishy, and all the players playing in the Fortnite World Cup Online Open play from their tunnels can be jaw-dropping. So there you have it. Tunneling, one of the most important skills in competitive Fortnite. It's pretty simple at its core, but at the high pace of these congested endgames, it gets complicated. That means you need to practice and make sure to hop in creative mode and do just that. You can practice it in the open on your own island or use one of the many amazing pre-built training courses that creators have made. This was BallTW, and we'll see you in game.
Wow.
When it actually qualified, it's actually such a relief, such a big achievement, and something I've been working for almost a year now. It feels really good.
I think it's one of my biggest accomplishments. It's just a massive, massive pool of people.
You need to be so incredibly proud of your son being one of the best, one of the best solo Fortnite players in the world.
He's still hitting me like slowly.
I was literally just laughing. Like, I was laughing so much.
Wow, I won $50,000 guaranteed, and I'm going to New York.
Yeah, gonna get 50,000. Oh,
there you go.
As a kid, this is basically all you dream of.
The hype's really real.
It's a game I can compete in, and I think that's why I have so much fun in it.
I'm incredibly grateful for Fortnite for giving me the opportunity to just pursue gaming and how many friends I've made through this game.
Thank you for everyone who believed in me, because I honestly didn't really believe in myself.
It's gonna be so fun.
It's
awesome. Thanks, Fortnite.
Sí.